in a sense, that takes us to the topic of our discussion today on the inclusive entrepreneurial ecosystem. On a lighter vein, I'd like to share that we had another recent celebration that almost was. I think one of our alumnus, Rajat Tomar from PRM 36, he's now working as the CEO of the Ram Rahim producer company. And they got an award in recently in some Outlook Awards or something like that in Delhi. And the story was that he went with some of the board of directors who were women from, the producer company in Madhya Pradesh, and they went in an auto from there to go to the railway station, and they forgot the award inside the auto. So the joke that was going around is, ये इरमा लोग कैसे है, अवार्ड भी ठीक से लेके नहीं आ सकते. So of course I think maybe they'll get an alternate award. So along with getting the award, sometimes Naveen, we have to also celebrate the award. I mean, I know you have this. One thing I'd like to encourage you to do, I think, which is something that I suppose you're also thinking of, is a 2-minute clip of what is the work of AKRSP. You should make that so that we can use it in forums like this, and you can use it elsewhere also to promote this very nice concept you had for a seed fund, and we'll be very happy to collaborate on this. I think we were discussing this with Rahul on how to get design thinking for, when we were designing this program for grassroots entrepreneurship training, तो design thinking को हिंदी में कैसे समझा जा सकता है, और how do we actually engage them? So I think that's a great thing that we'll probably have. हाँ. So I'll just take a few minutes trying to explain to you what we are planning today. So today is a very historic day, as many of you would know. This is the 90th year of Gandhi's Dandi Yatra. And I think it's important to remember Gandhi in many ways. And remember Gandhi also as an entrepreneur. In fact, some of the students in my course was very surprised when I gave them a midterm examination where I shared with them the letter written by Gandhiji for funds for the Satyagraha Ashram in 1917 from Motihari in Bihar. And this is actually a kind of a business plan that he's presenting to his funders. Of course, it was meant for high net worth individuals at that point in time. But the level of detail articulation that is there in Gandhi's every letter that he has is the kind that is a great inspiration for entrepreneurs. The social purpose is also very clearly articulated, and I think it's important for us, all these fancy words that we have here, Gandhi can actually be an amazing inspiration for both inclusion, for entrepreneurship, and for the ecosystem. So I just wanted to remember this occasional, it was not by design that we ended up with March 12th, but this is a day that hopefully we can all recreate some of the magic that happened 90 years back as well. Why is inclusion important? And I think that's something that we have felt very strongly right from the start. So there's a lot of discussion on Startup India and various other schemes that the government of India has started. And surely enough, today entrepreneurship has become an aspirational part for many youth in colleges and other places. But much of the ecosystem that has evolved is largely focused on, the urban Indians. And rural India has kind of been almost out of this picture of what is happening. We didn't want to have a full-fledged presentation of what we've done in the last year, but a few weeks back we were trying to put together what are the kinds of events we went to. And a quick analysis of that we were doing, and Shubha has actually been doing much of the work, we found that in the process of the last 1 year, we have been in touch with about 50 organizations. Some of you are here, and many more couldn't make it here. And I think the key point we would like to make here is that if an institution or an incubation center situated in an academic institution would like to be in the pursuit of inclusive entrepreneurship. It cannot do it alone. It requires large numbers of people, especially those with presence in rural areas and who have been also trying out different kinds of things. So we believe, and therefore it's been a very conscious attempt in the last 1 or 2 years that we have stopped using the word incubatee. So we always refer to our people whom we work with as partners. We have two kinds of partners, as you would see in the brochure. One is the social enterprise partners. And when people ask us, how many startups have you created? And we'll say some small numbers. Of course, they say, oh, this is very small. Then we say, no, we don't have a fund like a technology business incubator. But then we ask them the other question, how many ecosystem partners are you working with? And even in the brochure that you have here, this list is big. And it's going on increasing every year. And that's because we are being asked by many people, what is it that we can do? How is it that organizations in the ecosystem would like to move towards entrepreneurship? And that's a session we're going to have a bit later in the afternoon, which will be chaired by Dr. Dinesh Awasthi. How is it that the 5 organizations here who are members of the civil society organizations, how do they look at entrepreneurship? So that's the afternoon session on capturing the demographic dividend. Unfortunately, Ashutosh and his team from Quest Alliance couldn't join us. And Ashutosh had written a small piece on what do we do with this demographic dividend. Bharat mein itne yuwak hai, we have one of the youngest populations in this country. And that was one sense a great amount of celebration. But it can easily turn out into being a problem as well if their energies are not tapped. And how do we actually do that? And we cannot create a very narrow funnel where everyone is chasing an IIT or an IIM or an IRMA, etc. I mean, there is a need for tremendous numbers of enterprises that have to be developed in every nook and corner of this country. And I think that is the challenge that we face. And all the incubators that we have been working with and that have been created have somehow ignored the rural in their imagination. The rural is seen as a place where I develop a product in an urban area and I sell it to people there in the rural areas. As Anil Gupta would famously say, that this is not the sink, but the source of ideas. And we believe that rural, people living in rural areas are people with creative minds and which needs to be tapped. It might take a bit longer. The language has to change. And that's one thing that we felt we should start getting proactively in. So as an incubation center, we have tried actually maintaining this focus on rural enterprises and social enterprises as well. We've had some discussion on this. The book is actually talking about social enterprises in the agriculture sector. And also we realized that somehow the ecosystem talks about the rural, social and the collective as separate. Collective enterprises have their own kind of ecosystem. And yesterday's discussion on FPOs was essentially to ask this question on why is it that FPOs are not being treated as a startup. We are celebrating startups and we say we have so many startups and it's great to fail in a startup. But a collective institution which is much more complicated, much more complex with so many multiple objectives, every collective institution should survive. And the ecosystem will fail, will blame us, will blame an AKRSP for not doing its job very well if it has not, and they say therefore we will bring some management institution like Grant Thornton who can do this much better. But that's not the case. I think we have, if you're really serious about entrepreneurship and bring the principles of a startup for the collective ecosystem, I think the chances of success of collective enterprises are better. So somehow collective enterprises will go off into a different ministry or something else, or Department of Cooperation rather than, Department of Entrepreneurship. So this is the kind of initiative that we have been attempting to. It's still early stages of the work. But one thing that has been very exciting for us in the last 1 year is the work on grassroots entrepreneurship training. And Shubha is going to speak to us much more about it, and I won't like to take time on that. So that's a theme we felt we would like to have this conversation on. And share our work with all of you and also get insights from many of you on how to take this further, and maybe also take it to other agencies like the National Rural Livelihood Mission or whoever in the government is willing to take this further. Because the investment, creating an ecosystem for a rural or a tribal ecosystem or collective enterprise takes much, much more effort than, perhaps doing this in the investment times. The patient capital that is required is very different from, people looking for a 10x return on their investments and so on. So that's broadly the theme of this year's workshop. And every year we have the post-lunch session that we have is, listening to our partners, the social enterprise partners. We don't call them incubatees. Some of them have much more experience with on their own areas. And in some cases, we have been able to work with them to co-create something different and try and take their ideas much further. One example is a workshop we did on community-based rural tourism with grassroots. I think Misha will talk about it a bit more. So we would like to listen to the amazing work that many of our partners have been doing in reaching out to those people around. IRMA does not have the presence. We are based at Anand, but to reach out to those poor people and to use, if I were to say, the design thinking principles in designing a millet grader so that women can operate it much better than the conventional way, which were focused on looking at only men and, with their height and having to carry heavy things and so on. So this is the kind of details that some of our partners have gotten into, and we will hear their experience later. And we're very happy to have people like Ashok Gupta and Nitinji, NESCO's new incubator. So we would also like them to share Ashok Gupta ji from NEDB and how are they getting into the space of entrepreneurship. So that's what we have in mind for today's discussions. So thank you all once again for making it to this event despite the fear that's going around, which is probably genuine. But luckily, we have most of our participants today. I think a few more days later, many events have got cancelled, including one at IRMA as well. So thank you again for coming over here. And without further ado, I'd like to request Shubha to go ahead with the presentation.